Here's a quick little raw dog food recipe for you. So we have a duck leg quarter right here. Then we have a raw duck egg here. This is beef green tripe and a little bit of leftover beef lung. Then over here there's a mix of secreting and non-secreting lamb organs. So there's some lamb liver, lamb heart, lamb spleen, and lamb kidneys, and a little bit of lamb lung as well. There's some raw mackerel right here. This is just the tail and fin. And then over here is some homemade plant matter, which is mostly leafy green spinach, red beets, dehydrated red beets that I rehydrated in a bone broth, and pureed everything together. And yep, so this is essentially Wally's raw dog food allowance for one day. It's a little over 15 ounces. And since he fasted this morning, he is getting this for dinner. He usually does get 2 meals per day, but he only had a tiny little bit of bone broth and some slippery elm this morning for breakfast because he ate some figs in the yard and some other stuff. I think it may have been cat poop that didn't agree with him too well. So we skipped one meal and just offered bone broth and slippery elm, and that fixed his digestive system. Okay, well, you can eat. And please excuse my voice. I'm a little under the weather and home with a cold. If you don't have any duck leg quarters, you can also give chicken leg quarters. I can't offer those because Wally doesn't do well with chicken. He gets very itchy and scratchy from eating anything chicken, including chicken eggs, which is why I get him duck eggs. If you're in the States, you can probably get them at the grocery store. Like back in the States, I used to get them at Harris Teeter, just back in North Carolina. Other than that, you can search for them online. I also found them on Etsy and on eBay, so you may also find them on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. And I do know that Answers sells fermented duck eggs, so that might also be an option. So these are, just in case you're wondering, whether or not I want him to eat the eggshell. So if he wants to, that's fine by me. If he doesn't, that's fine too. Sometimes he eats them, sometimes he doesn't. So whatever floats his boat, that's fine by me. These are organic duck eggs from a couple who have 2 female ducks who lay just about 2 to 3 eggs per day. So I know they're from an organic environment, and I would be fine with Wally eating them. But again, if he doesn't eat them, I'm just going to compost them. So yeah, whenever there's a meaty bone in the bowl, he'll usually eat around it. Eat like the smaller cuts of meat and the plant matter first, and then he'll tackle the raw meaty bone. So again, this is a mix of a small bone. Yes, buddy, it's yours. It's okay. I'm not taking it away. I'm just showing people. Mix of bone and meat. And this is enough bone to last him to cover his bone allowance for about 2.5 days. You stay right here. And so he won't be needing or getting any other bone, next 2 days. So today is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so he'll be getting another bone again on Sunday morning. That's one of my favorite dog dishes, by the way. This one's spaghetti. It's dishwasher safe, and what was I going to say? Brain fart. Oh yeah, It's weighted, has like a weighted bottom, so I like that about it. It never really gets dragged around anywhere. Now when I do, when I do offer smaller cuts of meat, so when there's no raw meaty bones, I usually use a slow feeder insert like this one. So this particular one is by Mighty Paw, but there's a bunch of different ones, and it just sits in here. And then when he's done, I remove it and I just put it in the dishwasher, and I've had this for about 2 years at this point, and it still works just fine. So this is made of silicone, BPA-free silicone. But yeah, so when he eats whole prey, which he also gets once to twice per month, or larger raw meaty bones like this raw duck leg quarter, he obviously doesn't need a slow feeder or slow feed insert because it slows him down enough as it is. And yeah, we're at about 6 minutes into this video right now. I want to say I talked for about the first minute maybe, talking about the different raw dog food ingredients of this homemade raw dog food recipe. But yeah, so even with that, it's probably going to take him a good 7 to 8 minutes to finish his meal, which is great. So the benefit of this raw meaty bone is that it's rich in calcium and phosphorus, which are important for strong muscles and a healthy skeleton, healthy teeth too. But obviously, as you can tell, he gets to exercise his jaws just by eating bone. He also, at the same time, massages his gums, and his teeth get a nice natural cleaning. So, in case you're wondering, Wally's about 7.5 years old at this point. I adopted him when he was 1.5, and when he came to live with me, he was on some of the crappiest kibble they could buy at like Walmart and Costco, and he was an itchy mess. One itchy dog. So yeah, I immediately switched him over to raw dog food and then homemade raw dog food once I figured out that he had a bunch of allergies. And he's been raw fed ever since, and he's never needed a dental cleaning, and I doubt that he'll ever need one. So yeah. So there was a little more fat than the amount that you can see on this raw duck leg quarter, which I removed like 3/4 of the fat. Now, don't get me wrong, fat is a great energy source for raw fed dogs, for dogs in general really. Dogs really don't need to get their energy from carbs. Yeah, but he doesn't need all that much. I mean, he's at a healthy weight, and I want to keep it like that. So I removed about 3/4 and just get to eat the remaining fat on this duck leg quarter. And I did find this at a grocery store. We are here in Germany right now. I never found any duck leg quarters in the States, I gotta say that. But you could always just buy a whole duck at the store and then just cut it up into smaller pieces, so that's an option for sure. Good boy, Wally. When I first introduced Wally to the concept of eating raw meaty bones, I would hold the bone. And I demonstrated that in a video where he's eating a raw turkey neck from Raw Paws Pet Food. And I'm going to link to that video here below in the description. Yeah, but at this point he knows how to eat raw meaty bones without me needing to hold them for him. He's really good at not like swallowing them whole or gulping or anything like that. Look at his nice clean teeth. That's 7.5. took a little break from him eating the romney bone. I figured it might be just a tad boring if you want to watch videos of entire romney bone eating sessions. I have those too. You'll just have to go into my romney bone playlist and find them there. But yeah, so this is, we're getting towards the end of him eating that whole duck-leg quarter. We're making a bit of a mess here. So yeah, whenever you feed raw meaty bones or homemade raw dog food, or just raw dog food in general, it's probably a good idea to feed it on a surface that's easy to clean. So either outside in the yard, or just like wood flooring or a laminate flooring, which this is a laminate flooring, or just like a silicone feeding mat or a crate, something that you can just wash down real quick, or tile maybe. You get the gist. Good boy, Wally. Good clean up. What about the eggshell? Are you gonna finish that? Maybe if we put it in here. Now, one note that I want to make here is that I didn't include any kelp or any spirulina or any other supplements really. He usually does get some kelp and a little bit of spirulina in the mornings, which we did skip that this morning because, well, he only got some bone broth and slippery elm this morning, as I said earlier. But he usually gets kelp and spirulina. He doesn't need any when he gets whole prey animals, like the whole rabbits that he gets once or twice a month, I mean. Yeah, but so you don't need to achieve balance in every single meal. It's totally fine to balance over the course of like a week or 10 days or so. And I guess you're not going to eat your duck shell today, huh? Duck egg shell. Now, are we going to toss that in the compost? I guess so. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this little raw dog food recipe feeding session, raw dog food recipe plus feeding session that we brought you here today. Wally's going to continue or finish cleaning up the floors here, and then I'll wipe him down with some soapy hot water. And then all of these items are going to go into the dishwasher. All right, see you next time.